It's time for my 2025 post-spring conference championship predictions. Starting at the top with the ACC championship, I've got Clemson versus Georgia Tech. It should be no surprise I have the Tigers here. Landslide favorites to win the ACC, number one in returning production, a team that is fully expected to make the playoffs, versus a Georgia Tech team that I really like. I think they're well coached. They play with a chip on their shoulder. The key leaders from last season's team return, and they've got a really high degree of returning production. I think they got a lot better this offseason. In the Big 12, I've got Arizona State versus Baylor. Recent history suggests that the Sun Devils won't make it back to the Big 12 title game because of how much parity exists in that conference, but they're second in the country in returning production and return a lot of their key playmakers, almost everybody on offense with the exception of Cam Scadaboo, and more importantly, they kept their staff intact. And then their other team there is Baylor. They ended on a 6-game winning streak at the end of the regular season last year. I think they're going to ride that wave and positive momentum with a staff that really came together and a roster full of guys that contributed last season. In the Big Ten, I've got the two favorites, Penn State versus Ohio State. The Nittany Lions just have too much back, too much going in their favor. Poaching Jim Knowles was huge for this team as well, and they've got the schedule to do it again this season. And then Ohio State, a team with a ton of question marks, but still extremely talented. I just couldn't bring myself to put some other teams that also have a ton of question marks this season, like an Oregon or a Michigan or an Indiana there, so I'm rocking with the Buckeyes. In the SEC, I've got Alabama versus LSU. I think the Crimson Tide will be back with a vengeance this season with Ryan Grubb as their offensive coordinator. Things are going to really turn around regardless of who they start at quarterback, and they're going to have an elite defense. LSU, I saw the positive signs. I think everyone did on their defense last season. I think within another year there, Blake Baker's just going to continue to foster change. And then offensively, we've seen this story before. A veteran quarterback comes back for his senior season. I think Garrett Nussmeier is going to be one of the best throwing the ball this year, and LSU will have a fantastic offense that boosts them to the SEC title game. In the American, I'm always rocking with John Summerall, and Tulane made some fantastic moves this offseason. I think they'll be in a position to make another AAC title game run. And then Navy is a team that I think will be there. They've got a ton of their key contributors back, including their quarterback and their leader, Blake Horvath. In the CUSA, I've got Liberty versus Western Kentucky. I think the Flames shored up a lot of their holes, especially offensively, that they had last season. And Western Kentucky has a ton of unknown variables, but they're still reloading really well. And they got some fantastic players via the transfer portal like Maverick McIver, who's going to be their quarterback this season. In the MAC, I think Toledo's got the most talented roster, and I think they'll finally put it together and get to that MAC title game. And then I've got an Ohio team that, despite losing their head coach, I think has the dudes and the guys to make it happen. They host a key game versus Miami of Ohio. That could be a key swing game here. In the Mountain West, the Broncos are just too star-studded to miss the conference title game, and San Jose State is building in the right direction and actually did a very serviceable job this offseason and have a favorable schedule. I think they'll ride that to a conference title game appearance. I can 100% guarantee the Pac-12 title game will be between Oregon State and Washington State. Finally, I've got James Madison versus Texas State in the Sun Belt title game. It just feels like a Sun Belt title has eluded James Madison for a long time. Even when they've had some fantastic teams, I think they finally break through this season, and Texas State is building in such a positive direction. I can't resist putting them in the conference title.